Your team, man. My team. I picked them to win the Super Bowl.
Well, I didn't do that. I didn't do that. I had him with a great. And I'm gonna tell you the reason why I didn't because I said Russell Wilson would win MVP, which MVPs don't win Super Bowls. He ain't doing neither. Oh.
Yeah, man. So talk to me. Hackett got fired.
So Walmart made a great choice and and fired the coach.
Mm-hmm.
He was a Walmart coach. I mean,
Oh,
they
baby.
hired. The whole. I'll be honest with you right now. The whole Denver system is a joke, and it's not. That's not cool. This is one of the more prestigious organizations in the NFL. And right now they look like a laughing stock. It's not fair. It's really not fair to those fans. In the trajectory and journey that they've gone throughout their entire just existence, this right now they just look laughable. The coach has no control over his team. I don't know how many fights are starting over there on the
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. The backup quarterback is getting his little behind punch with a hat on because he's trying to take up for the quarterback, making up all these doggone mistakes. Okay, here's the thing. I don't think they wanted to fire him. I think because of what's just happened with the season, you can't continue. Why? Because what you have to do here is you have to actually go and find a coach that believes that they can fix Russell Wilson and all the money that you gave him. Because if you cannot do that, now you got to cut Russ. You can't cut Russ yet. No, they do not. Don't say no. They why? So he can look like Wentz. See, no, he don't. Find somebody else. Nope. Let that man not coach in the NFL again. I don't think so. I don't care. Nope. Make him a defense coordinator, and he don't need to be the head coach. Nope. They have to find somebody to fix Russell Wilson. They do. I don't, and that's the thing. I don't think Hackett was the problem because the defense wasn't the issue. The running game necessarily.
Oh, your volume. I can't hear you. Your volume was off.
Oh, there we go. I'm good.
There you go. Yeah, there you go.
The running game wasn't the issue as much. It was more so they couldn't keep. They lost one of their better running backs, and I'm really not sure why they cut Melvin Gordon. That was weird to me. And then they really didn't replace him. You can't replace Melvin Gordon with Latavius Murray. I don't know what decisions they were making. They weren't good decisions. And if that's the coach, then yeah, you gotta let him go. Because a lot of the decisions that were being made when the games weren't on were absolutely stupid. They were dumb decisions. I just didn't understand it. And then there go Cortland Sutton barely playing football again. It's a head scratching situation. The defense, who has tried to play great all season, was just getting no help on the offensive side of the ball. There's no way you can throw 300 yards in a game and you score no touchdown. That's baffling to me. There's no way in that same game where you threw for 346, you were in the red zone at least 5 to 6 times and you came up with no touchdowns. You were on the goal line 3 to 4 times, came up with no touchdowns. Like, what the hell? Like, what do you not see? The line is here. Your foot is here. What the hell? Cross that. Like, what do you think? This season for the Denver Broncos was laughable and unfair. I don't know what happened. Maybe this coach combination with the quarterback didn't mix, and hopefully they can find somebody that can make it work with Russell Wilson. Because if not, then it's Russ, and then you're just not in a good position again for another year. I don't know what they plan on doing moving forward. You have to play him because you paid him all that money. But you have to get a coach, I guess, that you believe can coach with him. I don't know. Oh God, I don't know. But the firing of Hackett, it needed to happen because I believe he just completely lost the control of the locker room. There was, they were trying to, and the blame goes everywhere. The blame goes everywhere but the defense, period. The blame goes everywhere but the offensive line. The offensive line and the defense, they are untouchable. in this scenario. It's everybody else. Receivers can't stay healthy. Quarterback can't throw the ball. They have no running game. It's just, special teams. Where was they at? Where was special teams this season? So it's the entire team was a joke. And here's another bad news: they better not pop up on HBO next season. They ain't gonna win.
Yeah, they're gonna. Yeah,
they will lose. They bet because I don't know who decided to put the Cardinals in the halfway show, but look what happened to their quarterback. So you go on that HBO show. I don't even watch it anymore because I think it's a curse to teams that go on that show. I don't, out of respect for the NFL and the love of my sport, I do not watch that show, Hard Knocks. I can't do it because every team that has gone on Hard Knocks has come out in that season with a horrible year. I just can't do it.
See,
I can't watch it.
See, the Broncos, man, they are disappointing, obviously. Now, now look, Coach, if you would have told me this, right? If the Broncos were your favorite team coming into this year, and I would have told you, hey, Coach, we're going to fire. We're not going to keep our coach we had last year. We're going to go and get an offensive coordinator for the reigning MVP, all right, of Aaron Rodgers. We also are going to get a guy who's a Super Bowl champion, who's known to be a top 5 at times quarterback in the NFL. And, all right, and the defense is going to get better. This defense might be top 3, top 2 in the league next year. You're going to be like, Super Bowl, here we come.
Here we go.
Here we come. Man, the thing is, they are worse everywhere in offense from last year. Worse. They already got more losses with 2 games left. They were worse in passing, worse in rushing, worse in points per game, worse in third down conversions, worse in red zone. How you have the best red zone defense and you the worst red zone offense? Imagine playing for that defense. You know how terrible that is? You know how sickening that is to be out there on defense and constantly be on the field where they're getting 3 and outs, but yet you're still producing as a top 3 defensive team in the NFL? Yeah, it's crazy, man. So I thought against the Rams, that team was like, man, we give up. That defense like, man, we tired, man. We want Hackett fire. And then look, obviously it got to be a scapegoat. The scapegoat is always a coach. And you got to look at it from the Walmart family's point of view. They did not pick Hackett. Hackett was there before they got there.
Right.
So they got to get their coach. And why wait another year? They got the money. We'll eat that contract. You out of here. We'll find somebody else. Right? Their news with Sean Payton, like no one else, they got money. They're going to try to get Sean Payton, in my opinion.
I think so.
Right? Sean Payton already talk about putting together an all-star coaching staff, right, for next year. So that's that. Now going forward, obviously, now Russell Wilson, he played back. All right, now he played back. There are a lot of times where guys were wide open and he would throw into a contested throw. Also that coach didn't have control of the team. They fight on the sideline on Christmas Day. Like, come on now, right? It's Christmas. So I thought that was the right idea. And Russ, you gotta redeem yourself, man. $250 million. Like, come on, man. You gonna have to redeem yourself, because if Russ is repeating what he did last year next year, then we know it wasn't the coach. It was definitely Russell Wilson. So all the spotlight is on him. He is in a do or die moment of his career, because I don't think another team will pay him. Like, with that contract, how is he going to get out that contract? How the Broncos get out that contract?
They have to fix it
him and keep him on the roster. That's what they have to do.
So here's what they would do. Here's what you do. Go get Josh Jacobs so you can have another running back with Devontae.
Would you pay Josh Jacobs though? You just pay Russ all that money.
You can, because he remember he a free agent. You want
to get paid.
Now that's if a team pays him. Now don't get me wrong. He had a Pro Bowl year this year. He put out all those people that were on the chopping block. He stayed. So his value may be a little higher than what they can afford, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's high.
Then I guess the only thing you can really do right now is just bring in, like you said, an all-star coaching staff that can fix this. You have to run the ball. You can't rely. You can't rely on Russell Wilson throwing the ball. You have to figure something out. Okay, one of the biggest defects to Russell Wilson's game was always his height. But he could move, and he had a big arm.
And he didn't move as much as Jeff. Go ahead.
He's getting older. That arm ain't gonna get stronger. That arm gets shorter. Go ask Tom Brady. He really out here trying to play against Father Time, and Father Time showing on who Daddy is. You get older. I'm sorry. Your body gets older and you are playing a brutal sport. It doesn't sustain. You're not meant to sustain. They're trying to, and then all of them collapse like this. Like, I get it. Kirk Cousins is having an absolutely amazing year, as I predicted he would. Not an MVP year. Yeah, I'm meaning just a great year that they can win. And it's because it's him. He's putting up big numbers in games. He's doing up 2-3
key moments too.
Exactly. Don't get me wrong. He still has his little primetime issues, but they didn't have that many primetime games this year. I think they had 2, and he lost those 2. But next year, you ain't gonna see this Kirk Cousins next year. No, this is it. This is it.
As long as
he'll be good. I think he'll be good, but he ain't gonna be. You're not getting this next year. You're not getting chain wearing Kirk Cousins next year. Hell no. He will be. His numbers will drop. The Vikings, I don't even think will be this good next year, especially if they lose in the Super Bowl. If they're there against the Bills, they're gonna have a hangover. So they, as you say,
the Vikings and Bills, you on track, my man. But look, I do want to say something real quick about Russ. We had an episode here, and we were talking about the top 10 quarterbacks, and Lamar wasn't on there. And I was saying, like, Lamar should be over Russell Wilson. And people were like, what? You tripping? No. This is what I said back then, Coach. I said, why is it every year Russell Wilson starts off as a favorite of an MVP candidate? Like he always pops off, and like by week 5, he's the MVP favorite. Right? He's killing. And then he falls off a cliff towards the end of the season. And also, when they get to the playoffs every year, and they get bounced in the first game, and he plays terrible every single time. So this year is basically telling the story. You know what I mean? It's telling us. And I think was that you that mentioned that Pete Carroll? You talk about like his system, right? Like
that was what I did in my little when I put Russ in the doghouse.
Oh yeah, you did, yeah. So it all makes sense coming back and and going back and forth circle. He literally was brought here to carry them because they were quote unquote a quarterback away last year. If they had a quarterback, they won 7 games with Teddy Bridgewater.
And that's why I specifically said I will put them at 13-4. I will put the Broncos at 13-4 this year because Russ has to win the MVP. If he is playing at an MVP caliber level, they go 13-4. But I was specific about saying MVP because why?
You got that record backwards?
Because the reason why he had to put up those numbers because he's never won MVP. He's in this entire career, and I was always worried about that because I watched Seattle play. I watched what they were doing, and it was so much more than Russell Wilson winning those games. Half of that decade was what? The dang on defense. Hell, the Super Bowl win was because of the defense. Mm-hmm. The first snap of the game, Peyton Manning lost the ball behind his head. It was over after that. The defense won that game, not Russell Wilson. He didn't win that game.
Yeah, that defense went crazy. 8 points.
And then when he wanted to win the game, some rando Malcolm Butler picked him off and made a name for himself in the Super Bowl that the Seahawks should have won. You know, when you don't put the quarterback above your team, you win Super Bowls.
And you know what's crazy? He never got criticized for that. It was always Pete Carroll for making the call. But nobody ever said like Russ through the pass.
Right. Let's remember that now. It brings me back to when Beast Mode said that, look, if I gotta contact your manager just to talk to you, we don't need to conversate. See, a lot of people don't pay attention. There's been some locker room things with Russell Wilson. You know what I mean? Like when he came out and blasted the offensive line that one year on the radio show, right? But let's remember one thing.
He did.
Russ, you hold on to the ball for a long time.
Yeah.
You've always done that. That wasn't something new. That's what you do. So how you going to blame an offensive line that's actually only supposed to be blocking you at best for 7 seconds? And that's in a shotgun. A shotgun. Yeah. You cannot ask these 300-pound men to really be blocking more than 3 to 5 seconds on an average basis. You cannot.
Take too many sacks.
It's just a lot of this was Russ, and a lot of things were blinded because of his miraculous 4-quarter crazinesses that he does. But let's forget he played like doo-doo for 3 quarters.
Tom Brady.
I mean, let's really think about something. Was Tebow really that bad when you look at some of the things Russell Wilson was doing in some of these games? Like, come on, man.
Come on, man. You compare him to Tebow.
I'm comparing him to Tebow because, I mean, let's really look at it. Like, he doesn't put up MVP numbers. If you go look at Russell Wilson's numbers, they're average.
He had 1 year, though. He threw 40 touchdowns.
And what did that get him?
He didn't even get an MVP vote that year, too. That's crazy.
I think he had too many turnovers. I have to go back and look at that, but I think he had a lot of turnovers with them 40 touchdowns. But to me, if you put the right pieces around Russ, he'll be fine. If you call the right things around Russ, you'll be fine. Again, beast mode ran the ball. They got to the 45-yard a lot and didn't move. And Russell was the quarterback. But who saved their ass? The kicker. The defense creating turnovers. Like, you gotta look at these games for what they really are. Like, was Russ really winning a lot of these games? Because a lot of the times they would stall. And when you look at Geno, they don't stall. They consistently move the ball. Now, I will tell you, since the running game hasn't been there, that's why they've been losing games. They have to have that system has to have the complete package. And if it doesn't, it's going to take some hits.
Right. Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.